Joining me now is the host of Prime Time with Alex Stein on Blaze TV. Alex, what do you make of Chelsea Handler and Sunny Hostins and their remarks about black folks supporting Trump?
Well, I kind of agree with the View host Sonny because black conservatives are the new counterculture. They kind of are unicorns, and I look at that as a positive term, not a negative term, because people are waking up to the persecution that they've been, facing under Joe
I
Biden.
don't
Joe
think
Biden
that's
is
what
not.
she meant, Alex. I don't think
You
that's
know what
what
I
she
mean?
meant, Alex.
Of course not. But I'm just saying, I agree that, we do. I'm happy that people are, breaking from the status quo. People need to do that. And when it comes to Chelsea Handler, Chelsea Handler had a romantic relationship with 50 Cent. So now she thinks that she knows more than
Yeah.
him because they've had a tryst together. It's ridiculous that these people are so threatened that now we have a guy like 50 Cent who not only a famous rapper, but a multimillionaire, owns multiple businesses. He sees the writing on the wall, and the Democratic Party is not helping black people, young black people, especially in this country. So it's good that people like 50 Cent are actually standing up for conservative values when all of these people, they think that they know being a black person better than an actual black person. They are the ones that are racist and make everything about race.
And I think Chelsea Handler was offering certain services to 50 Cent if he promised to back the Democrats. I don't know if that's an incentive, though, right now. Let's not get into that. Let's go to Washington, D.C. and what the hell is happening there, Alex? The chief of the Capitol Police Department is marching with other officers in the city's Pride Parade. Meanwhile, we've got vandals defacing, desecrating monuments outside the White House with seemingly no consequences, and nearly naked women, possibly, holding a twerking competition in front of children at a family-friendly Pride rally. It just seems absurd. At the same time, we've got 3 Washington state teenagers facing felony charges because they left scooter marks on a gay pride mural that was on the ground. Apparently that's a hate crime now, but those who are defacing monuments are just being allowed to go about their business. What is going on in DC, Alex? That's my question to you.
Well, DC is basically a controlled demolition. They just want the city to fail as much as possible because the crime is through the roof. I mean, there's people that work on Capitol Hill, they're getting stabbed, they're getting shot, people are getting murdered at rates they've never seen in DC. And yet, in certain places, they get mad that there's a mural painted on the ground that gets tire marks. It's on the road. That's where tires go. I mean, these people are insane. Yet a monument that's been there hundreds of years, they can just spray paint, they can deface. It's because we have a two-tier justice system that doesn't want to actually solve the problems that they basically created on their own, because all they're doing is they're encouraging these protesters to do this. And why? Because they want us to fight each other so that we don't ever actually try to go after the people that are causing us all these problems here in America. They want to keep us constantly mad. They want Israel versus Palestine always in our face so that we can't ever come to an agreement and actually go after the politicians that are creating legislation that is making our country, basically a lawless hellhole.
Absolutely. Whether you're talking Washington, D.C. or Washington State, the place seems to be a clown show at the moment. To try to ruin those kids' lives with felony charges over that, I mean, that is astonishing. Now, let's talk about the border crisis. Fox News has obtained an internal Border Patrol memo sent to agents in San Diego after President Biden's executive order came into effect. The memo instructs them to release single adult migrants from all but 6 countries in the Eastern Hemisphere, classifying them as hard or very hard to remove. So unless you're from one of these 6 countries, you're fine. Unless you're from Russia, Georgia, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Moldova, they're the mandatory referral countries. So despite this Biden promise to finally do something about the border crisis, it seems like nothing is going to change. The overwhelming majority are going to be released into the US just as they have been for the last 3 years.
Well, Rita, there's a sad reality that the Mexican cartels are almost as powerful as the American government. I mean, these coyotes are sex trafficking, they're,
To Jackson.
drug trafficking across the border. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous if you look what's going on. Drug overdoses are up over 100,000 drug overdoses this past year. And they could care less about the fentanyl that's coming across the border. And, and they mentioned the 6 countries where people aren't allowed to come. There's still terrorists, people on the terrorist FBI watch list that are getting caught coming through our southern border. So these immigrants that are, seeking asylum, they know how to play the system better than most Americans do, and that's why they're able to get social services and help from the government and free flights and free hotel rooms in New York City. When a lot of Americans are struggling just to afford groceries or fill up their gas tank. So it's really, really sad because we have enough resources to help Americans, but our government would rather help out the citizens of foreign countries that don't really care about America when they come here.
Now, I like the style of the Boston Celtics coach. The media tried to get him involved in this race politics and asked him a race-based question, but he gave them a faith-based answer. Let's have a look.
Hey, Joe, Ben School, Yahoo Sports. For the first time since 1975, this is the NBA Finals where you have two black head coaches. Given the plight sometimes of black head coaches in the NBA, do you think this is a significant moment? Do you take pride in this? How do you view this, or do you not see it at all?
I wonder how many of those have been Christian coaches. David Aldridge?
Oh, I just love the silence there. They were just shocked, Alex. They were expecting some sort of victimhood statement, and instead he asked, how many of them are Christian coaches?
Well, you know why they were so silent? Because in the mainstream media, they're not even allowed to basically acknowledge that God is real. So it really threw them for a loop, and we need more people that are actually not afraid of their faith. So that's a great guy speaking for what he believes in, not his race, but, his faith in the Lord.
And it's not a first time. I remember not long ago they were asking him about, I don't know, some royals who were in the crowd, and he said the only royal family I acknowledge is Jesus and Joseph and Mary. So he sticks to those lines.
And that's why he's successful, probably.
Alex Stein, we love you. You've behaved yourself in the past week from what I can see, so thank you for that. But I've got my eyes on you because some of your shenanigans of late are going to get you into trouble, son.
I know. I'll try to stay out of trouble. I'll be in Las Vegas this week, so we'll see what happens at Las Vegas Pride.
Oh, yeah,
Pray for me,
great.
Rita.